And today we're going to kick things off with a brand new episode of Thrift Picks. Now, I haven't done this in about 2 months or so, maybe a little rusty, but let's start with the four main categories that I tend to look for when I go out and thrift. That is number one, movies that I love. They'll always find a place in my heart and on my shelf. Number two, films that I've seen and are due for a rewatch. Maybe I enjoyed them, maybe I didn't. Let's give it another shot. Let's see. Again, it's secondhand. It's maybe $1 right now because my thrift shop guy is closing. I'm getting them for about 10 cents a piece. Category number three are films that have been on my watch list. So maybe I've heard of it, maybe I've seen a video about it recently, and I add it to my watch list. It's been there for a while. Then now I have the opportunity to pick it up. And then finally, category number four are going to be the blind buys. Films that I really know nothing about, usually, but maybe it's got one of my favorite actors, directors, or it's a certain theme that or hole in my library, in my collection that I need to fill. I'm going to pick that up. And then finally, we have sort of a supplemental or additional category, which is called New Views. And those are films that are still factory sealed. Uh, Even if it's rewrapped, I'll still call it a new view. Pardon me as I take a sip of water here. How are you doing today? Let me know in the comments. So, yesterday, I have to go. What time is it? I have to go soon to my shop, pick up maybe another 50, 100 films, just to kind of keep things going from the closeout. But yesterday, I went to one of my favorite spots. They are out in New York City. It's called Academy Records. They're located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. And I picked up 25 films. I believe 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's two box sets here. One's got 3 films, the other one's got 5. We'll cover that in just a second. And we will start with our first pickup. This is going to be a film that I have enjoyed, but is due for a rewatch, and it's in a new view condition. This is going to be Fast and Furious. Now, I've slowly been acquiring this film over the last year or so. I'm now up to Fast and the Furious, Too Fast and Furious, I think I have 5 or 6 installments. I'm missing 7, 8, 9, and 10. But I don't want to go out and buy the full set. Spend $80, $100 when I feel like they're just nice to have, you know? So I got that. Next is going to be Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is a watch list film, and this is a super bit version. This is going to be, what does it say? Digitally mastered, audio and anamorphic video, widescreen presentation, audio, English 5.1 Dolby Digital, subtitles, English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, Korean, Thai, and it has scene selection. Superbit, I believe, was supposed to be sort of an even higher quality DVD version of DVDs. But we got that. I have been wanting to see that for a while, but haven't had internet for about the past year and a half until about a month ago, when I realized I need to take this business a bit more seriously, and I'm going to need to be connected in order to run my business. And so finding on which streaming service it was on, I've said this before, I could just never find it. So it's great to have it. Next up, we've got Shaun of the Dead. Now, I've seen this all of once. I loved it. Never seen it again. And I have Hot Fuzz. I want to get, what is the other one? At World's End, right? I love this team. I love these actors. I really enjoy this this director. What is his name? Edgar Wright. He's got a very sort of quirky style. Quirky's not the right word. I'm gonna find a better word soon, better way of describing it, but I enjoy them. Shaun of the Dead, category number two. Then we've got, now I am building out a Clint Eastwood space on my shelves, but we have a Clint Eastwood installment teaser. Clint Eastwood installment. This one I actually picked up because, if Kevin, you're listening, I just saw that you were watching it the other day, and I was like, I keep forgetting to put this on my watch list, so I put it on my watch list. Lo and behold, it was one of the very first movies on the sale shelf that was there that I saw, and that is The Outlaw. I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong. Josie Wales? Josie Wales? Yeah. Didn't really know much about this, but I love a good Western. And I do need to build out more or collect more Westerns. I'm missing quite a few. As the outlaw, Josie Wales, Clint Eastwood is ideal as a wary, fast-drawing loner akin to the man with no name from his European westerns. But unlike that other mythic outlaw, Josie Wales has a name and a heart. The heart opens up as the action unfolds. After avenging his family's brutal murder, Wales is pursued by a pack of killers. He prefers to travel alone, but ragtag outcasts, including Sandra Locke and Chief Dan George, are drawn to him, and Wales can't bring himself to leave them unprotected. Time called it one of 1976's best movies. Over time, the outlaw Josie Wales has secured a place as one of the top westerns ever. So, we will be the judge of that. And yeah, again, I love a good Western. I also picked it up because it is in this snap case, which I think I mentioned on here before, or at least in my notes section on Substack. If you don't have the app, please download it. I use notes more often than I send out emails right now, especially because I don't have a lot of time. And that is really where the community starts to actually happen and take shape, where we're commenting, where again, I may just send a picture and a quick thought for the day, and I consider that, posting on here, but you may not see that, or I know that you won't see that in an email unless I take it and post it and send it out to you. So if you want to stay up to date with all of my ongoings and really connect with other readers of the newsletter within the community, that's the best place to do it. And it could be as engaging as you want it to be, or you can just kind of check it and then head on out as you want. It's up to you. But Clint Eastwood, this is going in my Clint Eastwood collection. Otherwise, if it was any other film, it would go in my Snapcase collection. Okay? Then, just like this one. This one is a blind buy. Now we get into the blind buy section. So those were all films that I knew about, right? I'm checking just to double check. I didn't. There's one other film, but those are new views. We'll come back to that. Aunt Mammy, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, starring Rosalind Russell. Okay? This is a blind buy. I didn't know anything about this. Feast at the bouquet of this walloping, rip-roaring hit. Clive Hirschhorn, the Warner Bros. Story. Special features, music. Oh, I love seeing these. Anytime I find these, I try to pick them up when I can as well. There's so many things to really... Man, there's so many different things and ways that you can collect. Ways that you can acquire films for your private library. Whether it's a special feature, whether it's I've heard of, I've known some people who collect with a focus on actors. So maybe they only have 40 movies on their shelf, but it's all from their actor, their favorite actor or actress that they really love. Or maybe it's just directors, or it's a certain theme or genre, right? This is something that's also cool. Number one, it's a blind buy, so whatever, but it looks like something that I would enjoy. Number two, it's got this snap case, right? Number three, special features, music only audio track highlighting uh, Bron Bronislaw Caper's lush score. I love finding these movies where they have audio only tracks where you can just watch the film to the score. That is something that I don't think we have enough of these days, but it also poses a question, do we have enough movies these days that have a score worth listening to? Right? It's another layer to cinema that you have to think about. There's so many different things that you could focus on. Again, maybe you're a costume designer and you only want to buy movies that focus on or that highlight the best costume design, which I think if you're talking about some of the best movies for any one of these sort of craft uh, focuses, right? You want the best. It should feel almost immersive, but at the same time, you should know that it's there because of the quality. It has a lasting effect. So think of a Hans Zimmer score, right? Uh, who's the new young guy? Ludwig van Gorsen, I believe his name is, right? Where it leaves you for months, for years at a time. Who's the other one that they really love? I think it's John Carpenter. I think that's his name. Um, right? It's so memorable, you can close your eyes and you can almost envision the movie, even without hearing any words, even without seeing any actions. That is something that is super impactful and that I don't think we have many, especially within sort of like the action realm, the thrillers, right? You don't get that. So that's a cool thing to find, and I try to pick them up whenever I see them. You got theatrical trailers on here, a couple other highlights, but this was a blind buy. I'm interested to see this Auntie Mamie, starring Rosalind Russell. That also ticks off another box that I was trying to find. Did I say that already? International films, women-led projects. Um, Foreign language films, right? So not just international, but also foreign language films. And especially, what was the other one? There was another criteria. Oh, movies that were made pre 1980s, 1970s. So early cinema, the first few decades of cinema history, I've kind of been lacking. So that was a great pickup, great find. Super, super excited. Here is another blind buy. Now I had walked into Academy Records a few weeks ago and saw this, but I didn't have enough at the time to pick it up. So thankfully, it was still there when I got there. And this is going to be a film by Julio Mendem. This is Sex and Lucia. Now, I don't know much about it, but one of the most erotic movies ever made, Jim Zvelda. I'm also pronouncing that name wrong. CBS Radio Network. Uh, this apparently is made by this guy, Julio Mendem, who made another film that I had heard about. I think it was on Mubi, and I wanted to see it, but I never got around to it. And that, I believe, was called Lovers of the Arctic Circle. And I was really interested to see that. Never got around to it. So when I saw the name, I was like, I know that name. Where was it? Did a little more research. I decided to go back and pick this up. So uh, I will call it a blind buy. Sex and Lucia. That should be very interesting. Next up, we're going to go with another blind buy, On a Clear Day. I don't know anything about this film, but I do know that as I've been organizing my collection, kind of breaking things down, moving things from a DVD case to a storage space saver, these Terrafold DVD sleeves. So you got the disc in the center there, and then the cover art folded up, which takes you from something like this to, hold on, please don't fall, please don't fall, yeah, something like this. This is about 150 movies right here. Yeah, that's a lot of space saved. Now I'm trying my best to find the space to keep the cases in case I need to ever like move these or keep them in a larger physical location. But for now, I'm moving them into these slip cases. As I was saying, I've learned, come to find, that I have a lot of focus feature films in my collection. About a good 15, almost 20 now. So I thought I would pick this up and see what it's about. I do enjoy their movies. I do enjoy their stories, the way that they're presented, the direction. A cinematic gem that actually makes you feel good about being alive. So that was really why I picked it up. I really enjoy the studio's work and just the type of films that they put out. So I want to get more of these. Then, we've got, I don't know how you pronounce this, Powakatsi, Life in Transition. Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas present. I didn't even read that when I first picked this up. Powakatsi. An intelligent, compelling, and mind-opening film. Let's read the back real quick. Hailed by audiences and critics around the world as mesmerizing, Detroit News, this second installment of writer-director Godfrey Reggio's apocalyptic Katsi trilogy is quite simply one of the most magnificent visual and oral spectacles ever made. LA Daily News. Combining stunning cinematography with the exquisite music of award-winning composer Philip Glass, Powakatsi is a breathtaking experience working on many levels: emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and aesthetic. The Hollywood Reporter. Bold, haunting, and epic in scale, this extraordinary film calls into question everything we think we know about contemporary society. By juxtaposing images of ancient cultures with those of modern life, Powakatsi masterfully portrays the human cost of progress. It's a film that engages the soul as well as the mind. It is truly an absorbing experience. Movies on TV and video cassette. This is going to be really interesting. I only learned this morning as I was trying to do a little bit of research on these things that yes, this is the second installment in a trilogy. So I will be looking for the rest of those. Another reason why I got these is I love the style of MGM, their DVD releases, with sort of this black bar here. It's got the name, and then it's got some of the biggest pictures that I've ever seen on a DVD case. So if I were to turn my camera, you'd actually see I have a whole. I didn't realize until maybe a month ago how many MGM movies I have, which again goes back to who are telling the stories that you really love, who are producing those films, who are distributing them, right? I've got a lot of MGM. I've got a lot of Warner Brothers. When I first started collecting, I was grouping everything by studio. Since then, I've kind of done away with that. But I really enjoy this look, so I've actually made a whole section for MGM. And also it's interesting to see the different iterations and style over time. So you've got some that say MGM DVD, and then you see the transition into, I'm assuming, the modern version of that, which is, it looks like when it was perhaps acquired by Amazon. And so now it has the brand new sort of MGM, just MGM typography logo, which you would see when you open up their MGM Plus app. Very interesting. Then we move into some other international films now. This is a really interesting one. I feel like I've heard of it, but I'm not going to say that I have. So again, this is all still the blind buy section. These are also blind buys. This is blind buy, but I would say those are new views. Yes, I've heard of these. This is blind buy, and this is okay. We've got I'm just gonna say Zatoichi, The Fugitive. This is number 4 in the Blind Swordsman series. With 26 film sequels and upwards of 100 TV episodes, Shintaro Katsu is the legendary Zatoichi. I know that I'm butchering that. I apologize. I'll learn better over time. He's a low-ranking blind masseur who lives by the Yakuza code and answers his foes with a deadly cane sword. By far one of Japanese cinema's most time-honored screen personas, Zatoichi is, to this day, the ultimate anti-hero and champion of the common man. So this is number 4 in 26 films. I will now, of course, be going and looking for the rest of the collection and putting all of those together. That will be a very, very interesting watch and even program. I can't wait to see it. So that's another blind buy and international film. Then we've got The Wild Blue Yonder, Werner Herzog's Wild Blue Yonder, a science fiction fantasy. Okay, that's what it looks like there. That's the back. We'll open that. Look at that. It's got this, what do we have here? It looks like a poster. That's pretty cool. So, again, I love finding these things in physical media. In 1924, German director Fritz Lang showed us the future in Metropolis. In 1968, director Stanley Kubrick showed us that we were not alone in 2001, A Space Odyssey. Now, the director of Grizzly Man and NASA take you to NASA. Why did I pronounce it like that? NASA. Take you 4 light years into space to Werner Herzog's The Wild Blue Yonder. Interesting. Sorry, I know you're not supposed to have dead air time there, but I'm very, very curious to watch this. That will be interesting, and I think this might be the first Werner Herzog film that I've got. So that will, I've seen a couple of his films on Mubi and maybe one on Criterion channel before. Really enjoy his stuff. So that would be interesting to start a new director space there. Then we've got another MGM DVD release. This is a Franco Zeffirelli film. This is Tea with Mussolini, okay, starring Cher and quite a few others. Dame Judi Dench, Joan Plowhite, Maggie Smith, and Lily Tomlin. So I saw this film in shop a couple weeks ago as well, about the same time that I went and saw Sex and Lucia there, and I thought it looked interesting. I feel like I've heard about it, but never seen it. And so finally went back. It was still there. I picked it up. Then the next open blind buy, This is going to be from the Criterion Collection. This is from their Eclipse Series 17. This is Nakatsu Noir, featuring 5 Japanese noir films. Those are I Am Waiting. Let me go to the back. I Am Waiting from 1957, 91 minutes long, black and white, of course. All of these, I believe, are black and white, so I won't repeat that. Rusty Knife, 1958, 90 minutes. Take Aim at the Policeman, 1960, 79 minutes. Cruel Gun Story, 1964, at 87 minutes. And A Cult in My Passport from 1967, 85 minutes. So, a quick rundown of this box set. Eclipse Series 17, Nakatsu Noir. From the late 1950s through the 60s, wild idiosyncratic crime movies were the brutal and boisterous business of Nakatsu, the oldest film studio in Japan. In an effort to attract youthful audiences growing increasingly accustomed to American and French big screen imports, Nakatsu began producing action potboilers, or borderless action. I can't pronounce that Japanese phrase. That incorporated elements of the Western, comedy, gangster, and teen rebel genres. This bruised and bloody collection represents a standout cross-section of what Nakatsu had to offer. From such prominent, stylistically daring directors as Seijun Suzuki, to... I'm not going to do this. Anyway, we got that. I apologize. Like I said, in time, I'll learn the correct pronunciation for all of those and get those back out to you when I review these more in depth. Eclipse is a selection of lost, forgotten, or overshadowed classics in simple, affordable editions. Each series is a brief cinematheque retrospective for the adventurous home viewer. Visit us at criterion.com. I'm not doing it. This is not an ad. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just reading the back of the box here and the description for what this particular series or collection is. It is, a side note, very, very hot in here. I've got the window closed because it's so noisy outside. I've got the room door closed because it's air conditioning and it's going to mess up the audio. But I want to get this in before 30 minutes, so we're going to speed through the rest of these blind buys, which are also new views. They're all still factory sealed, and I've got 2 minutes on the clock, so let's go. We've got Skin Deep. This is a Kino Lorber release, a film by Student Academy Award winner Alex Shad and Dmitry Shad. Yep. So, not too much on this. I will be breaking this down because this looks really, really interesting, in another video. Skin Deep. Then we've got another Kino video release. This is Kino International, part of their First Ladies Early Women's Filmmakers releases. A powerful indictment of moral treachery from America's first great woman filmmaker, written, produced, and directed by Lois Weber. This is Hypocrites. Digitally, can you see that there? Yep, there you go. Hypocrites. Digitally mastered with a piano score, plus Cleo Madison's rousing melodrama, Eleanor's Catch. That's the back. Still sealed. That should be a very interesting watch. We've got a TCM Archives sealed up box set. 3 films, Forbidden Hollywood Collection, Volume 1. That's going to be interesting, and I'm not going to hit that 30-minute mark. This is new to DVD, it says on the cover here. 3 classic films that offer a rare glimpse at the lost era of provocative filmmaking, including Babyface, Red-Headed Woman, Waterloo Bridge, and it includes a new introduction by Robert Osborne on Disc 1, and Babyface theatrical trailer on Disc 2. This should be really interesting. I'm also going to break that down in another video. Then we've got starring Jerry as himself. And for some reason, I feel like I heard there was a play about this, and I can't remember where I saw the poster for it. But it was maybe a couple months back. So I remember the name, and I was like, is this where it's from? So I picked it up. And this is another Kino Lorber release. It is, let me see here, English Mandarin with optional English subtitles. 75 minutes long. Cool. Then we've got two films. One I've tried to watch time and time again, but every time I'm so just sort of taken aback by the opening of it that something else distracts me, and I have to move away, so I don't give it its proper respect. The other one I just heard about from some YouTube like video essay a couple weeks ago, and decided to pick that up. As it was here, it was closed, it was sealed, brand new. This is going to be number one, or number two, special edition of Ed Wood, starring Johnny Depp, a Tim Burton film. When it comes to making bad movies, Ed Wood was the best. So that is going to be super cool to watch. Tons of bonus features on here, couple featurettes, couple makings of. I don't see, there is an audio commentary. Gotta have an audio commentary. I love those, I need to watch those. Then, finally, we will wrap things up with this 2-disc collector's edition, digitally remastered and restored DVD set. Even the shop owner was like, I need to get a copy of that. I still don't have it in my collection. This is an International Media Film presents. International Media Films. That's the thing. They're presenting Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita. I am so hot and so tired. I'm sorry that I have run out of gas and enthusiasm here, but I was super excited to find this. This is awesome. I think this and the Nakatsu Noir, where's the other one? Dracula. Those are some of the personally best finds of the day. Really cool. You've got an audio commentary on here by noted critic and film historian Richard Schickel. Introduction by Academy Award nominated writer and director Alexander Payne. Fellini TV, collection of never before seen Fellini shorts. Remembering the Sweet Life, interviews with Marcello Mastroianni and Anita Ekberg. Cool. The House of Fellini, musical montage of Fellini's beloved studio. Fellini, Roma, and Cinecittà. Interview with Fellini. Extensive photo gallery, restoration demo, biographies, filmographies. Includes an 8-page collector's booklet with rare and hard-to-find photos from the theatrical set photographer. Liner notes by Dennis Bartok. Really cool. Can't wait to watch this. This is going to be amazing. All of them are. All of them. In time. That, folks, concludes today's episode of Thrift Picks. Went over a little bit of time as I've tried to record this video 4 times so far today. And so you can imagine that's about at least an hour and a half of trying to record these things because I didn't go so long earlier. But I'm out of steam.